Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for coming. I have some brief remarks to read to you, then the Mayor of New Bedford will speak, and then the Chief of Police, then we'll answer any questions that you have. On July 6th of this year at approximately 10:12 p.m., New Bedford police responded to a male who had been shot outside the 7-Eleven convenience store located at 1024 Cove Road. Responding officers found that a 31-year-old victim, Julio Barbosa, had sustained a gunshot wound to his back. Mr. Barbosa was transported to St. Luke's Hospital, where he was eventually pronounced dead. Today, investigators obtained an arrest warrant from New Bedford District Court charging Darius Gamboa with the murder of Julio Barbosa. This homicide was investigated by detectives William Suave and William Westgate from the New Bedford Police Department, Trooper Eric Perez from the Massachusetts State Police Detective Unit, assigned to this office, Assistant District Attorney Dennis Collins, along with Rob Kidd, has been working on this case from its inception, and Dennis Collins will be handling the prosecution with assistance from others in our office. Our joint investigation has revealed the following. On the night of the homicide, and also Bob DeGentomaso, our Shannon Grant prosecutor, assisted in this investigation as well. On the night of the homicide, Mr. Barbosa stopped at the 7-Eleven to get something to eat, along with a couple of friends. While at the store, Ryan Gamboa, an individual known to Mr. Barbosa, entered the store. Immediately after seeing Mr. Barbosa, Ryan Gamboa made a phone call to his son, Darius Gamboa, who was a short distance from the store. Phone records and other evidence confirm this call being made to Darius Gamboa minutes before the homicide. Within a minute of this call being made, Darius Gamboa, while armed with a firearm, approached the store by walking around the southeast corner of the business to the front of the store. As he approached the 7-Eleven, Darius Gamboa looked into the window while attempting to obscure his face. Upon seeing the victim, he returned to the southeast corner of the store. His presence and his behavior in front of the store was captured by surveillance cameras, both inside and outside the store. Upon returning to the corner outside of the store, Mr. Gamboa waited for Mr. Barbosa to exit. While still inside the store, Ryan Gamboa engaged in a verbal altercation with Mr. Barbosa, which quickly escalated into a physical altercation at the front entrance. As a result of this altercation, Ryan Gamboa pulled a knife from his pants and chased the victim, Mr. Barbosa, across the parking lot and towards the southeast corner of the 7-Eleven building, where the armed Darius Gamboa was waiting. As Mr. Barbosa ran, literally for his life, Darius Gamboa shot Mr. Barbosa a single time, killing him. After the shooting, Ryan and Darius Gamboa fled the scene. During the course of the investigation, detectives conducted numerous interviews and received the cooperation of a large number of witnesses, including people at the scene. Investigators also interviewed Darius Gamboa. Darius Gamboa initially denied being in the area of the 7-Eleven the night of the homicide. Instead, he claimed he had only been in New Bedford for a short time that evening and that he was at a location a number of blocks from the scene. Evidence developed in the course of this investigation contradicted these claims. As a result, Darius Gamboa was charged with lying to the police on August 29, 2012. He's been held in custody ever since. As many of you know, I don't always call for a press conference to announce bringing charges in a homicide case. I do generally when it's an unsolved homicide dating back prior to 2007 when I took office. I also do it when, in addition to announcing that we've brought charges, there is another message I want to convey. That is today. Here the message is a clear and powerful one. Our solve rate, which means the bringing of charges in 2012 on homicides and shootings in New Bedford, is as high as it has ever been, and it is at 100% so far this year. And in my opinion, there are three reasons for that. The first is the strong and effective partnership we at the District Attorney's Office have with the Mayor of New Bedford and the Chief of Police of New Bedford. Our mayor is involved and invested in every single one of these cases in a hands-on way, and our partnership and collaboration is a major part of this success. With the chief, it is an identical situation. On shootings, for example, the chief is called immediately upon the police learning of a shooting. And once he's called, no matter what time of day, he calls Bob DeGentomaso, our Shannon Grant prosecutor. And as soon as Mr. DeGentamaso is called, I am called. That happens on every single one of these shootings, and that's teamwork. The second reason for our outstanding rate this year is the team of prosecutors and investigators that we have assembled at the District Attorney's Office, including our state police unit. It is as fine a team as I have ever been a part of, and I'm very proud of the group that we've put together. And finally, and perhaps the most important reason, is the citizens who are stepping forward to assist us in determining who have committed these acts of violence. When my team was sworn in January of 2007, as many of you know, unsolved homicides and shootings in New Bedford were endemic. The homicide solve rate was around 50%, and the shooting solve rate was markedly lower. And a primary reason for that was that citizens, witnesses, were not stepping forward to tell us about what they saw. But we said we would do three things very differently. We said we would protect those who helped us to the greatest extent we could through witness protection assistance. And we would protect them by keeping those who were doing the threatening of the witnesses and the intimidating of the witnesses, by keeping those behind bars through dangerousness hearings before trial and convictions and lengthy prison sentences after trial. Number one. Number two, we would charge those witnesses who blatantly lied and misled us in the course of the investigations of these violent crimes, and we would solve more of these violent cases and bring the violent perpetrators to justice. We have done this repeatedly over the past 5.5 years, and we have done it again today. I want to thank Mayor John Mitchell, Chief David Provencher, my first assistants, William McCauley and Tom Quinn, Dennis Collins, Robert Kidd, Bob DeGentamaso, Detective Lieutenant Robert Andrade, William Westgate from the New Bedford Police Department, William Suave, Victor Mendes, Detective Sergeant of the New Bedford Police Department, Stephen Vincente, Detective Captain of the New Bedford Police Department, Eric Perez from the Massachusetts State Police Unit assigned to this office, and David Lazat, the Deputy Chief of the New Bedford Police Department. Thank you very much, Mayor Mitchell.
Well, thank you very much, Sam. My favorite press conferences are those in which I get to celebrate the opening of a new business, or to shower praise on students who may have achieved something. This is not a celebratory press conference, obviously. This involves a murder. But there were, as the DA said, there are very important points to be made in convening the media on an occasion like this. The first, to my mind, is this. Our thoughts and prayers go out to Julio Barbosa's family, and we hope that this will be the start of justice being done for him and his family. And the second point is to echo what Sam just told you, and that is that this is a great team you see assembled before you. I speak from experience. As many of you know, I was an assistant United States attorney for a long time in Boston, and I've worked with in my previous capacity, worked with the New Bedford Police Department and the Bristol County DA's office and the state police, all highly competent organizations staffed by very driven individuals who, once they get their teeth into a case, will not stop. That's what happened here. These murder investigations result in arrests and are built around teamwork and good communication, and that's what District Attorney Sutter has established, or he did establish when he first took office, and it continues to this day with a great group of prosecutors. It also goes, much the same goes for the state police. We have a great CPAC here in Bristol County that operates very well with not only the District Attorney's office, but also local police departments. It also goes for the New Bedford Police Department under the leadership of David Provencher. When I was an assistant U.S. attorney, the New Bedford Police Department's reputation preceded itself. It is an exceptional department. It was when I was an assistant U.S. attorney. It continues to be today. It is a very squared away department that reacts very quickly to incidents and gets on evidence without any hesitation at all. And that includes tracking down witnesses. And What you're seeing here today are, as Sam said, is the result in part of residents coming forward. There was a day, especially when Sam first took office, when witnesses were unwilling to provide information to police. That has all changed. The terrain, the playing field has all changed. Now, the point everybody should know is if you live in New Bedford, you're not going to get away with murder. It's not going to happen. There are very competent folks here who know what they're doing, and will see to it that you will be tracked down. This kind of behavior that resulted in this indictment today will not be tolerated by the city of New Bedford. It is no place for violence, and it certainly won't be so long as I'm mayor and so long as David Preventure is in place as the chief of police. So once again, thank you to all of you who put this together today. It takes a lot of work, and now it's going to be left up to the court system. This is a significant step in this case, and I hope it'll be the beginning of the end of the Barbosa's family's effort to seek justice. Thank you very much.
Thank you, John, very much. Chief?
Thanks, Sam. Thank you, Mayor. My father used to always tell me, as I was moving up the ranks of the department, he said, you know, someday you're going to end up being in front of cameras and reporters. So be careful that you don't follow politicians or lawyers, because it's most likely they're not going to leave you a lot to say. That has never been more the case than today. But I do want to just touch on a couple of things and not really go over what you've already heard, but I just want to take a couple of minutes to point out and thank a couple of people without whom none of the successes we've had over the past couple of years would really have taken place. And first of all, I want to recognize and thank Deputy Chief Dave Lazat for his leadership, focus, and drive in directing the manner in which the work of the police department is being carried out on a day-to-day basis. And additionally, Captain Steve Vicente and the members of his investigative division have really done an unbelievable job of focusing in and harnessing their drive and determination to close cases effectively. Bob DiGiantommaso gets way too much credit. He really doesn't do a darn thing. I don't even know why he's here. But he's a good friend, and he's done a tremendous job. And I think if there's one key beyond Sam Sutter being the key to the effective relationship between the police department and the DA's office, it's Bob and his hard work. He's the only person that usually beats me to shooting scenes. However, I take time to dress before I go, and that might make some of the difference. And having said all that, you're looking at a really fine group of investigators who have committed a great deal of their lives and time to keeping you safe. And I think for that we owe them all a real debt of gratitude. And you see just a very small sampling of the men and women of the New Bedford Police Department who go to work every day and night and work like hell to keep you safe. That 100% solve rate, as Sam talked about this year, is a direct result of the hard work that they do every single day. And it's them that we ought to be having up front here and thanking them. Thanks.
Just a couple of things before I open it up to questions. I want to echo what the chief said about Bob DiGiantommaso. The first part, I'm just kidding, Bob. I want to echo actually what the mayor said about the Barbosa family. Our thoughts and prayers are with them at the district attorney's office. This is, as the mayor said, but the first step in a march toward a measure of justice, but we are dedicated to that result, to that outcome. I also want to take this one final opportunity to thank literally the dozen or more witnesses at the scene who came forward and agreed to assist us with determining who committed this murder. Without their assistance, we would not be standing before you today. This is what we continue to need in New Bedford, to have, as the mayor referred to, an extremely safe city, which we are making great strides towards. So, with that, questions?
You said 100% solve rate. What are
So
the
far.
numbers? How many homicides?
We've had, I want to be precise, that we've had, this is the, hold on one second, fourth, I think. In New Bedford, we have had 4 shootings, all solved, and 3 homicides.
We've had 3 in
Right.
Bristol County.
Brought charges, right, right. 2 in New Bedford, right, right.
Okay. Thank you.
3 murders in Bristol County.
Bristol County, right. 2 in New Bedford. Both solved, of course, means, according to the FBI definition, when you have brought charges. So it's probably best to say brought charges, but the shootings and the homicides brought charges in all of them.
Any indication as to what the altercation was that led to the shooting?
We have an idea, and that's probably going to be discussed at the bail hearing, and we probably should wait till then to get into the details of that.
Were they known to each other prior to that argument?
Our information is yes.
Yeah, when is that bail hearing? Do we know?
That's going to be determined by the court, but probably within the next 2 weeks.
Is Darius Gamboa, is he indicted?
Not yet. He's charged in the district court. All
What
right?
are the charges against him?
Excuse me?
What are the charges against him?
The charge against him is murder,
Just one charge?
as of right now.
Carrying.
Oh, that's right. Carrying a firearm without a license. 269-10N. All right. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Yes, Kurt?
So you're saying that he was set up? That Ryan Gamboa and Darius Gamboa set up?
Well, I don't think I said that.
No,
I said there was communication, and I said that Darius Gamboa is charged with carrying illegally and murder, and that any further details will be revealed at the bail hearing on the date of the arraignment in the district court. All right, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, John.
Hi, how are you doing today?
What looks good?
Our special today is shrimp scampi. It's been sitting around for about a week.
Excuse me. What time are you guys leaving? We're gonna rob your house tonight.
Don't you wish there were warnings to protect you from life's risks? With diabetes, there is one. It's called A1C, a simple blood test that helps measure your risk of serious complications. Learn more at diabetesaonc.org.
I took a trip to Elkhart, Indiana today. Elkhart's a place that has lost jobs faster than anywhere else in America. The unemployment rate went from 4.7% to 15.3%. In fact, local TV stations have started running public service announcements that tell people where to find food banks. Even as the food banks don't have enough to meet the demand. As we speak, similar scenes are playing out in cities and towns across America.